So this is the next step for flippable cell phones. We're now getting to a point where we're just going to make the inside display wider and wider. So usually flippable cell phones sit at a nice 6.9 inch inside display. It's kind of like the go-to, it's not too big, it's not too small, it's just right type of size. Mainly the point of flippable cell phones is to be able to have a regular candy bar cell phone that when you close up does go ahead and give you that small minimalistic type look, and you can slide in your pocket and you don't have to worry about it, right? That's the whole point of flippable cell phones. Well, now Motorola, who already pushes the envelope, I feel like, with everything else they do with flippable cell phones, is now pushing the envelope even more. They're going with a 7-inch inside display. And I feel like this is just going to start this trend of companies now trying over and over again to one-up each other. Now, we already know there was that trend with the outside display, right? The outside display was very small. And then you had all these companies going, okay, we need to have the biggest outside display on flippable cell phones to a point where you don't even have to open up the phone. You can just use it without any issue at all. Well, that's kind of been defeated, I guess you could say, because we're now at a point where the outside display is the outside of the phone. So, how do you beat it next? So, you got to keep one-upping each other, especially in this foldable, flippable phone world. And there's not much more you can do, right? Not much more you can do here. Now you have to do the inside display. So Motorola is rumored to have a 7-inch inside display. Also new color scheme, by the way. And I'll be interested to see what other companies end up doing. But I'm telling you right now, if we get to a point where we have a 10-inch inside display, and again, keep in mind, when I say 10-inch, we're not talking about, it's not going horizontally, okay? We're not using the Huawei brand new flippable, foldable phone that they created. No. We're talking about vertically. It goes 10-inch vertically. So it's going to get to a point where it's just way too long for no one's good. Pause on that. But, like, for real, it's going to get to a point where you see my mouse pointer? That's going to be the top of the phone. And then that's going to be your hand. I feel like 6.9 inches was the perfect size for flippable phones. I just hope this isn't the trend we do moving forward. And I hope that 7-inch is the most they do. At some point it's overkill. At some point it just isn't even fun to go ahead and use a flippable phone if it's too crazy vertically sized. But that does also mean that the outside display will also be bigger. So, again, it's like plus and minuses, right? Kind of how the world goes round. All right, guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. See you guys next one.